really is the city that needs no introduction, but I went ahead and gave it one anyway. All times of night and day, there's something cool going on in Hong Kong. I'm going to meet up with my buddy Ollie, and he's going to tell us about the skate event that he held the other day. So let's go and jump on the best rapid transit network in the world and go and see him.
So get outside to big wave. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road. Turn off that screen.
My name's Ollie, raised in Hong Kong. I was born in London originally, but I moved here when I was 7 and pretty much grown up here my whole life. I started skating when I was like 10. I've always skated on and off. Yeah, it's kind of kept me going through life, you know. Life's hard. That's skating to express and escape.
Tell me about where we're at right now.
Right now we are at the Victoria studio in Sheung Wan near Central, and yeah, we're chilling on the patio. Just caught up with Arthur, who's founder of Victoria, which is a local skate brand, clothing brand. Yeah, it's a nice spot to hang out.
Tell me a bit about the event on Monday.
So Monday on Monday we had a block party in Tai Hang, which is my neighborhood where I live. Collabed with my friend Nathan, who hosts a lot of markets and like DJ events, and I was like, I can bring a skateboard element to it. So we kind of worked together, and I brought some skate obstacles, and we got some prizes and whatnot, and basically just had like a street party, which I think there should be more of in Hong Kong. Markets and like outdoor markets is something you see a lot in Europe, which I think he's trying to push more, and then like skate events in new places and different places is something I'm trying to do more of, and like add a bit of a fresh perspective or a different type of angle to the skating. Like we got a special obstacle made which was inspired by Hong Kong dim sum tables that you see on the streets. You walk around and you see these half circle shapes, pieces of wood just like leaning against the walls of Chinese restaurants. So I walked past one countless times, and eventually I was like, alright, we gotta make something out of this, something skatable. So hit up my friend Feng, who has a wood workshop called Friday HKG, and yeah, he made it come to life, and I think the community were pretty stoked on it. It was good. It was pretty hectic. Whenever you try to do skateboarding on a street, on a road where cars are still driving, and also a lot of people who are new to skateboarding kind of just stand and watch. Like maybe they'll stand in the way, maybe they'll stand too close, the board might hit their ankles or whatever, but that's all part of the fun. I get joy from seeing non-skaters be able to see what a skate session is like and be a part of it, and see how many times the skater falls, like how they battle for tricks, and just like open their eyes to the world of skateboarding, like skateboarding in the streets as well, not just in a skate park. But I think it was a success. A lot of people came through. Police came once because of a noise complaint, but they were friendly, and we kind of quietly got out the obstacles again an hour later. Overall, I think it was a success, bringing the community together for something new and to skate this new obstacle. Luckily, I'm like friends with the owner of the bar and the owner of the noodle shop, so they're all down to work together and make it happen. Usually the proper way to do an event is you get a permit and everything, but we didn't really do that this time because we kind of knew the bar owner and the restaurant owner, so we're just like, you know, get away with it.
And do you think like the DIY scene in Hong Kong is big? Is it coming up?
I think it's very difficult to make that a reality because there's such a limited space. Not everybody has cars and vans, so they don't have tools to do cement work. And yeah, you never know the Hong Kong government, if you build something, they might just like get rid of it. I don't think anybody's really tried to push the DIY scene here yet, so it's possible. Like we talk about it a lot, but no one has like a background in construction really in our community. It would be nice to try make a DIY spot though, like, because right now this obstacle needs a home.
Let's cut now to the skate event and chat with some of the OGs.
Skateboarding. Action.
What are your names and where are you guys from?
Josh, San Diego, California.
Alex, Hong Kong. My name's Vincent Lee. Chinese name Chek Yin, so Lei Chek Yin. I'm from Toronto, and my parents are born and raised in Hong Kong. Yeah, I've just been visiting here all my life, so.
Brian, I'm originally from Hong Kong. Generally, I've just been skating for 11 years.
Maybe like 10 years on and off.
5 or 6 for me.
I started skating when I was 12. This winter it'll be like officially 20 years. Yeah, skate and die, man. Like, I'm never gonna stop.
And what have you made of the scene here?
Man, I mean, it's very tight knit. Like a lot of us know each other. It's
But in Hong Kong, it's usually just one big community. You know, they have different, of course, they have different circles, but everyone does get along with each other. You know, everyone does skate with each other. The community is small, but it's strong.
You know, I only started skating in Hong Kong since 2016 or 15, that kind of thing, and like, yeah, I've made some pretty good friends skating here, and like everybody's super friendly.
And when you see skaters, you could just join them. You know, it's not like in the States, everyone's like, there's like so many people skating, and there's different like circles around there in the park.
I went to college in the US, so I skated in New York a lot, and the culture there is so different. Everyone in Hong Kong is so accepting, like regardless of your skill level. Everyone's a homie to you. Everyone's keen to help out.
I find it can be still serious in places like certain places in LA, you know, because that's like where skating was born, and like the level of skating is so high in a place like that. Like if you're not even close to that level, then a lot of the time they're like, oh, you know, you're a poser, you don't skate or whatever. Let's say in LA, almost all property is like private property, right? Everybody like still really hates skateboarders, so it's still kind of seen as that like super rebel kind of like lifestyle. But you know, there's places like Hong Kong where like so many skate parks have been popping up over the past like 15 years and really kind of like growing the culture. There's a skate park, you know, up in Hai San Place now, like for free. Like what? It's crazy.
it's just cool to like, you know, have people to get in a sesh with and just like a good time around Hong Kong.
And where are the spots that you usually hit up in Hong Kong?
Oh man, so many. Yeah, like
depends. What kind of session are we talking
bomb
about?
spots, ledge spots, like in the streets there's like all different kinds of things, you know.
I'd say we go like central a lot.
Yeah. Hong Kong can be pretty crusty on the streets, so and we like that shit, so yeah.
I would say like it's pretty similar to SF in how hilly it is, because Hong Kong's so like the topography is so diverse, right? It's pretty cool. You got a mix of people who like skating different things.
There's like a lot of unofficial skate spots, like plazas and like parks where it's not like really optimized for skating, but they'll just bring in like new obstacles, like depending on the season.
What's your favorite spot then, man?
Big question. Probably say like around like Sheng Wan. There's like a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of banks, a lot of ledges, and they're like marble a lot of times. It's very, very smooth.
Do you get stopped by like the cops or security a lot?
Yeah. It's hard to skate at night. I mean, we have to skate at night because skating during daytime is just a no-go. The kick out is immediate or pretty quick. Especially like we like skating IFC a lot. And IFC is
sometimes you only have like 1 or 2 shots to like do your trick, and then you gotta go. So that's how it goes.
Are they kind of aggressive or are they really polite with it?
They don't get like too aggressive, but you can see like the frustration, you know. They're like just go type thing, you know. They're mostly reasonable. I get they're just doing their job, but like as long as they're not like, you know, touching the board or touching us, like it's all good, you know. Like that's when it gets like you're just abusing your power type thing, you know. Like a lot of times it doesn't have to even get that far, you know. Like,
do you find that like security and police are quite a bit more relaxed? Ooh, that's a bad one. Do you find that security and police are a little bit more relaxed here towards skateboarding?
I find it hard to like skate anywhere that's outside of a skate park, just because they're like, oh, you can't skate here, oh, we got noise complaints. You get kicked out in like 10, 20, 30 minutes kind of thing. They're not gonna like ticket you or whatever, they're just like, hey, get out of here. Yeah. So skating street is still like, it's hardcore, you know? Like,
how long have you been sponsored for?
I was sponsored around 5 years ago for my skate shop sponsored, and 4 years ago for the shoes. So Globe was 4 years ago, and 852 Shop Hong Kong Represent was 5 years ago. So yeah.
And how did you like break into that?
Oh no, I just pretty much go around skating and people started noticing. And I was friends with the shops and friends with everyone. So I mean, kind of had the reputations. People would be like, alright, Brian's cool, you know, he skates well, you know, good guy, so why not rip our products? So I was like, damn, all right, I'm blessed. I can't ask for anything more.
It's a pretty small community and pretty tight knit, like you said,
Yeah,
so
it is.
that probably helps you, right?
Oh, it does. Everyone, that's just what I said, everyone got their backs. You know, everyone who skates just pretty much wants shoes and boards, right? That's like our main thing. So, I mean, when people sponsor me a lot of these, I'm just like, damn, I don't know what to say, you know? Happy about it. I honestly don't know. Like, everyone got their backs, you know? Sometimes we have boards, we just give it to the kids, you know, give it to someone that actually needs it, or, you know, some boards are really so, like, they tear it up, you know? So we just try to help each other, you know?
Do you have any messages to the younger generation who are getting into skateboarding, trying to find sponsorships?
I mean, just focus on skating, having fun. If you fall, pick your board back up and try it again. Eventually, one day, when people see your effort that you're putting in, people will gradually find you. You know, you don't have to find someone to be like, oh, I want to find this to sponsor. If you skate good enough, they'll find you. You know, just keep skating, have fun, and people would notice.
So how's the scene evolved in the last 10 years, 5 years?
Oh, dude, I think since the Olympics, like, for instance, I teach skateboarding. Ever since, what was it, like 2020, the skate events? Like, yeah, the Olympics, I don't know. I've just gotten, like, a lot of my like clientele will be like kids and like their parents who are like adamant on them learning and like oh this is like an acceptable thing now, whereas like 10 years ago it probably would have been like still sort of counterculture. It's like, you know, unless if you skate you're like a scumbag or whatever the fuck, like, you know, like
Having skate lessons is more acceptable these days. Like when I was growing up, you didn't really get a skate teacher or a skate coach, but now a lot of the skaters want to do that because they can make good money, and like schools are more open to it after the Olympics and everything. Brought it to the attention of a lot of non-skaters, and so did like the fashion side of skateboarding, like LV and all that trendy stuff, Supreme. Yeah, all the hype beasts and sneakerheads are into skating now.
I feel like it has that mainstream backing now, and like brands are like Nike and shit are putting more effort into it, so it's like more acceptable, and like, you know, like there are like little girls in Hong Kong nowadays that are like better than, you know, me and like some of the homies. It's like
Skating has usually been a pretty male-dominated sport. Do you think with the new generation there's a lot more girls interested in it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Just look at the Olympics, man. It's like the girls are ripping even harder now. Like they're just going God mode. I don't even know what to say on that. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're female or male, you know, whatever, you know, just come skate with us, you know?
Like they're the next generation. It's gonna be like amazing to see, because they're already so like dialed in, you know, and they're like what, like 8 years old or something. You're like, what the hell? It's crazy. Like we didn't, like I remember seeing like a couple Groms back in my day, you know, but like it wasn't like now it's like they'll come in like a gang or something, you know. It's like, it's pretty cool, like with their parents and stuff. Like it's like awesome to see.
You know how kids have like how do you say it? It's like a pent up energy. You know, I mean, they all do, you know, even though they're like introvert as fuck, but they all do. Skateboarding allows them to express it, you know, because let's compare it to like basketball maybe. So you need the team, you can't just shoot hoops by yourself, it's kind of boring, you know. But when you have a board, you can just skate anywhere. You want to go to McDonald's, yeah, you skate to McDonald's, you know. You want to do a trick or learn something anywhere on the street like this, it'll be, you know, you could just have it, you know. It'll be easy. Curves like this everywhere. It's like when you skate, it's like a playground everywhere.
I just think that the level of skating is just gonna keep getting better. You know, like if everybody can board slide and kickflip, you know, it's like it's got to be like the next, you know,
For sure.
like.
But there are also people who are like, oh, keep skating, like
Yeah.
skating. It's supposed to be anti. It's supposed to be punk, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So you have like the two sides. Obviously, like there's a part of the skate community everywhere who are quite against contest skating or the Olympics, and they're against like how clean it is and like training. Skating is something different to that.
But then if you look at it, skating as an art, then, you know, maybe it becomes watered down, or people get too caught up on like point aspect of skating, like contest skating, just like where it's less about the style and the technique and the simplicity of a simple trick done well. So I guess there's two ways to look at it, but I'm pretty open-minded, so I think it'll just add new opportunities to kids if it's in the Olympics and if it's growing in other industries too.
Among skaters, it's like everyone's skating, you know? It doesn't really matter how or in what context you do.
Yeah, it's like, even if you like one of those like opinionated skaters where you believe like, you know, it should be counterculture, it shouldn't be so in the mainstream. Even so, like if somebody, you know, new were to come through, they're still gonna get treated with respect, and like it's not gonna be like our turf type thing, you know. That's kind of bullshit, you know. It's like everybody should just be like accepted. We're all just like trying to skate at the end of the day, have a good time, you know.
You know, events like this brings the community together. Skateboarding brings everyone happiness, lets the kid enjoy something that they never thought they would ever try it, you know. They never thought of buying a skateboard, you know. So everyone's just being together, staying happy. That's pretty much it. What else do we want, right? What else do you need? Drinks, skateboard, everyone's laughing here, and that's pretty much it. It's positive vibes everywhere. Because you know, way back when our old days, you know, we usually think of skateboarders like, oh, like street boys, you know, trying to destroy stuff and things. But now the Olympic actually opened the mind of the older generations, you know, to be like, oh, it's actually a sport.
Do you think that's good for the sport?
If you call it a sport, then yes, because it will grow and allow people from like underdeveloped countries to like work towards something and represent their countries, like kids from the Philippines or Vietnam or Mongolia. Like I went on a Vans trip last year, and there's some kids flown out from Mongolia, which was pretty cool, and some kids flown out from Vietnam. So yeah, that's a good side of it.
You know, maybe parents would be like, oh, I'd rather my kids skate in the park, you know, rather than the street. It's still skateboarding, you know. It doesn't matter if you skate park or street. Everyone's still helping each other no matter what. We're still pushing the next generation forward because we're not getting better, you know. The OGs are not going to get better, you know. At the end, the young got to take over. So we want them to represent us into a very positive way for our community in Hong Kong.
There's a lot of important mentoring that has to go on for that.
Oh yeah, a lot more mentoring. Because the OGs like we understand the culture of how we skate in the streets, like which spot, what time do the security guard gets off, you know. But we don't have to teach that to the kids for now. They actually have to experience it by themselves, you know. But at the end, every kid starts in the park, they skate, they have fun, and then if they choose to skate in the street, then they understand what street culture is, you know. It's different, you know. Skating is just skating to anyone, you know. You don't need to have massive tricks. You don't need to have sick style. I mean, if you hold a skateboard and you skate, it's pretty much good enough, I guess.
Do you find that the creativity of skateboarding extends beyond just tricks?
Oh, definitely. I think like it's been said before, you know, it may have been a biased statement. Skateboarders are like the most fashionable people, you know. You know, like we always kind of have our pulse on like the finger of our finger on the pulse of like creativity and like the trends or whatever, and but we also kind of know the difference between what's trendy and like what's timeless. Having like a classic style that, you know, that won't fizzle out in like a year or so, you know what I mean? Like skaters are often involved in, well, a lot of them have to be involved in like video editing and like shooting photos and making art and making music, and it often comes with a lifestyle and like the whole culture. There's all of that like surrounding it, right? All that art goes hand in hand with skating, because you can't have like skate brands and like skate videos without all that stuff. So it's definitely a package deal.
And what do you think it is about skateboarding and these creative works that go together so well?
I think just the way a skater's mind works, the way you think about a trick, it's like in a way to express yourself. There's a few skaters who are also like musicians and artists, and a lot of skaters make clothes. I think that's kind of cool. A lot of Hong Kong skaters have clothing and like art as an outlet. And also like when you're skating, you film footage and you like see yourself skateboarding, and so it make you think about what you wear more, maybe like the fashion element of skating. There's a few brands, to name a few, like Victoria, Fa Fa Fa. There's a crew which put videos out called Street Sorcery. Cyroot is another brand. Obviously 852 is like the OG skate brand. Yeah, there's a lot of shops where people are starting to like make their own merch and whatnot. like the art scene in Hong Kong is like smaller than other places, so it all kind of gets wrapped together. Sometimes you just run into the same creatives and artists and skaters at these events. I do multiple things, play music, I make videos, and I do a bit of like brand marketing stuff. My brand it's called Likewise. It's kind of like a media magazine. We kind of document like local culture, street culture, interesting stories, and we host events as well, like skate events, live shows. Yeah, we just started making a bit of merch, but mostly just trying to give back to the culture and the skate scene. Give people memorable experiences and fun experiences. I grew up obviously being like a course skater, a street skateboarder, and skateboarding is changing a lot, but I guess I'm just trying to bring more of that street aspect, street element of skating, keep it alive. I'm always filming footage of the local homies skating in the streets. But yeah, I'm also involved in the music scene, so the indie music scene mainly. I'm really into like indie rock, indie music, so I'm trying to keep that alive. Obviously, it's a big like DJ electronic presence in Hong Kong, like the bustling city that it is, so just keeping like live band music alive is another passion of mine. And the band's called Mr. Koo. My Chinese surname is Koo, K-O-O, so that's kind of where the band name comes from. Yeah, music and skating is kind of like equal for me, It's hard to have one on top. It fluctuates. Sometimes I'll be like heavy in the music scene, going to jam nights, playing shows for like 1 month, but then the other month maybe I'll be more just like fall in love with skating again and just want to skate and film.
Where do you see the sport going?
Man, that's a big question. You're asking like a trend forecast. What's the trend forecasting on skateboarding, huh? Like modern skating, I feel like is in a way getting played out, and like transition, it's a lot more about flow, right? Looking more natural and feeling more natural on your board, and like being able to ride the terrain. That's almost cooler because like you can't ride a skateboard without terrain, right? And like to be able to feel your board and be one with the board and one with the terrain is like, I think that's like the peak of like really being good at skating. I think it's definitely getting like a little less technical, more creative, more like trying to like think outside the box of just like ledges and stairs and like rails or whatever, and like just trying to skate stuff that's like not the usual, like whether it be, I don't know, curved ledges or like bank to ledge, I don't know, like really just like more spot oriented. So like, at least in Toronto now when I skate and film with my friends, like we try to skate stuff that people have not really touched, and it's just like something really interesting, and it's just more about the actual spot and like what you can do there. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be like crazy technical or whatever. It's just like, as long as it looks good, do with speed, and like you do like a trick that suits the spot itself. I think that's more so what skating's about now.
Do you think there's going to be a bit of a return to like a freestyle type of skating like we saw in the 70s and 80s before Rodney Mullen sort of established all these flick tricks?
No. No, I don't think we'll ever go to like a freestyle sort of thing. Like it's super niche now. Like, it's only like guys like Andy Anderson or like Spencer William or whatever his name is, like kind of doing that stuff, that like Rodney Mullen freestyle stuff. Like I said, like definitely maybe a little less technical and just more flowy, creative, tasteful tricks. If that's I think that everybody has their own opinion on what tasteful skateboarding is. Maybe it might just be like a simple grinder or whatever, but like maybe like a switch backside crook and grinder on something. It's like it looks simple, but it's like technical. It's switch, and like it could be done like just to look really good, Like Polar, let's say, they're not super about like technical tricks, right? But like they have a lot of style, they have creativity, So.
I really don't know what I expected when I landed in Hong Kong. I arrived with my camera, a tripod, a microphone, and my skateboard. I knew I wanted to film something about skating, but I really had no idea what it was going to be. By a crazy twist of fate, I linked up with Ollie, and he happened to be hosting an event while I was in town. I met a camera guy at a music event who helped me film the street interviews, and it all went from there. Hong Kong has an incredibly supportive community of people who just want to include everybody in the joy of skateboarding. It's touching to see how enthusiastic and positive the OGs feel about the next generation of skaters that are coming of age now. I think there are only good things coming to this skate scene, and I can't wait to return to see how Ollie and the other skaters keep on pushing it to the next level. I know I'll be welcomed with open arms, as if I had been there for years, just like I was this time around. Thank you to everybody who was involved. If you stuck around to the end, leave a comment, leave a like, and thank you for watching. I hope I was able to show you how fucking rad the skate scene in Hong Kong is.